Now, this is News 6 at 10 and high definition.
I exited my car, took off my belt and vest, threw it in the trunk of my squad car, and just immediately went into the water.
A hero tells her story, how she and a firefighter braved the cold water of a suburban retention pond to save two people trapped in a sinking car. And talk about bravery, this officer doesn't even know how to swim. Good evening, everyone. I'm Matt Whitney.
And I'm Nicole Marks. We'll have that story in just a minute. But first, breaking news to tell you about a serious house fire in Homewood. We have reports tonight that one firefighter has been hurt. At least one person has been trapped by the flames in a house in Homewood in the south suburbs. We do have a news crew on the way, and we hope to be able to update you on that fire later on in this newscast. Now back to our top story out of suburban Westmont, a story of courage under fire. A police officer and firefighter are being called heroes after a dramatic rescue in a pond. It happened last night about this time. A couple's car veered off the road and plunged into a pond in suburban Westmont. That's when the two heroes sprung into action. News 6's Christian Farr has our story.
I just knew what I had to do and did it.
Westmont police officer Jennifer. At this point, police are still trying to figure out how the Westmont couple's car ended up in the pond. In Westmont, Christian Farr.
New information now on the arrest of 9 members of a militia group. Tonight, prosecutors say the group was an imminent threat to police and need to be taken down immediately. The last of 9 suspects was arrested and faced a judge in Michigan this morning. Police there say the Christian-based militia group called the Hutari planned to make a false 911 kill call to responding police officers, then use a bomb to kill many more at the funeral. The alleged attacks were set to take place next month. The Michigan arrests have sparked concern all across the country. Still, members of other militia groups like the Indiana Militia Corps tell us they do not believe in violence, but they do defend their right to be armed and ready to protect themselves.
There's lots of reasons to just be prepared. I think America itself has kind of fallen by the wayside of what this country was founded on, which is independence.
Today, the FBI says they do not expect retaliation from other militia groups. Agents have picked up on internet chats sympathizing with the Hutari, but no imminent threats.
Tonight, a rare glimpse of a violent chapter in Chicago's history. On April 4th, 1968, Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated in Memphis. On April 6th, President Lyndon Johnson ordered National Guard troops to help stop the violence in Chicago. Today, newly released audio tapes reveal the late Mayor Richard J. Daley directly requested those troops in a telephone conversation with the president. Here is an excerpt of that conversation.
Mr. President?
Yes, Dick.
We're in trouble. We need some help.
Yes? I'm afraid of that.
Yes. It's starting to break out in different places.
Yeah?
And we just met with our people, and they felt that we should try to get some federal assistance.
When President Johnson asked Daley how many troops he would request from the Justice Department, Daley says at least 3,000. Johnson replies, yeah, well, you better say 5. By April 7th, 1968, 11 people were dead, 500 were injured in Chicago.
Now to a story that affects anyone who wants to go to college and the parents as well. President Obama today signed a new law that completely revamps the government student loan program. News 6's Lauren Jickets reports on what every parent should know.
Roosevelt University Junior
or college in the long run, and if they're going to come out of college with a lot of debt, so I think it's really helpful.
Proponents say the bill will actually create jobs because the program requires servicers to operate in the United States. The Congressional Budget Office says the move to direct lending will save $61 billion over 10 years. The plan is to expand the Pell Grant program by $60 billion.
Their business went up in flames tonight. Chicago's famous cake girls are trying to figure out what to do about the hundreds of unfilled cake orders. Our area bakeries are offering their facilities so the women can create their high-end masterpieces. The sisters say they have not decided whether to accept the help and are offering refunds to their customers. Either way, the bakers say they are willing to pick up the slack for the Easter holiday and the upcoming wedding season.
People aren't going to be left without cakes. Maybe they won't be able to get exactly what they were looking for. It'll be from somebody else who might have a bit of a different style, but people aren't going to find out that now they can't get their wedding cake, or their child's first birthday is not going to have a cake.
The cause of that fire is still under investigation.
There's much more to come here on News 6 at 10, the schoolroom dance video that has the teacher in trouble with the law.
Then it could be the storm of the century on the East Coast. But wait until you hear about our weather forecast for tomorrow and later.
These results aren't typical, but for me, they're fantastic.
They're growing in popularity, but tonight, can fast food diets really work? We'll have the answers later in a For Your Health special report.
News 6 at 10 continues with Matt Whitney and Nicole Marks. Now, you're watching News 6 at 10 in high definition.
A major weather story is shaping up tonight along the East Coast. Some forecasters are saying it could turn out to be the storm of the century. Take a look at the radar picture. A major rainstorm is developing that runs from Washington, D.C. all the way up to Maine. The National Weather Service says many flood records could fall tonight. In Warwick, Rhode Island, officials are patrolling flooded neighborhoods on jet skis. There is a flood warning there for a possible life-threatening situation going on near Patuxent River. And authorities in Somerset, Massachusetts are not taking any chances. Flooded roads mean closed schools. Throughout the Commonwealth, officials are watching swollen rivers and dams, hoping they can contain the rising water.
Last night on the Charles alone, we pumped 680 million gallons of water in an 18-hour cycle.
I don't want the electricity to go out and not have any electricity to keep the pumps going. The basement will fill up like a swimming pool. The water's going to come through the windows.
1 or 2 more inches of rain could fall in the Boston area in the next 24 hours, and maybe Easter Sunday before the rising rivers return to normal.
Tonight, rocket scientists from NASA are preparing to look at the sudden acceleration problems in Toyota cars. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration is calling on 9 NASA engineers to see if the problem is electronic, whether electromagnetic forces outside a car may affect a vehicle's computer. If the problem is electronic, they will be in charge of coming up with a fix.
They will be looking to see if their electrical system design works as it should, and they'll be testing some of these parts to see if they can be easily upset or not.
NASA is expecting preliminary results this summer. GM, Ford, and Chrysler also have received complaints of cars speeding up unexpectedly.
In Georgia, a high school chorus teacher is on trial after allowing students to dance provocatively in front of his classroom. The incident was captured on a cell phone and later posted on Facebook. It shows 3 male students removing clothing and gyrating in front of the class. They each grab a female classmate and begin dancing in a sexual manner. The teacher is seen turning the music on and at one point clapping. After school administrators and law enforcement were tipped off to the images, the teacher was let go.
In one case, they grabbed a young lady and actually opened her legs and began to make pelvic gyrations as though, imitate an actual sexual act.
The teacher is charged with corruption of minors and could face up to 5 years in jail if he is convicted.
Still ahead, why lots of people swear by fast food diet menus.
You put sour cream and guac on this thing, you got another 300-400 calories. That's death.
He's one of the stars of the Afternoon Saloon on sports radio, but is John Yurkovich really losing weight on a fast food diet menu? We'll show you.
The weather was beautiful today. How warm will it be tomorrow? All the details later in your weather forecast.
And for your health tonight, the skinny on drive-through diet menus. Places like McDonald's, Kentucky Fried Chicken, and Taco Bell are all serving up healthy options. But if you're in a hurry to lose weight, can fast food really be the answer? Missy DeQuan reports.
And it's diet and diet and diet and diet.
Can I have the fresco crunchy taco, please?
A quick trip through the drive-thru. It's low. Motivation helps.
I got another week of the challenge, but I've got an ultimate goal of getting down to 250 pounds.
Missy DeQuan.
And if you want more information on the nutritional value of these diets, you can log on to our website, news6chicago.com, and search drive-through diet.